Okay, so in this video, I'm going to demonstrate how we can use the CPI config and the tables that are available within the CPI to generate a list of statistics for every well. All right, let's get started. So the first thing we need to do is we need to understand how tables work in the system. So let's take a quick look at this. It's not a feature that everyone will be familiar with, but what we're going to do is we're going to go to the tab that says Table, and we can either click on Select Columns or we can click here on the little table icon. And in this case, I'm wanting to view multiple properties or parameters, and I'm going to do this for a single zone to get started here. So for example, I'm going to look at the teapot, and let's say I wanted to look at some of my average curve values. So let's say average sonic, PE, neutron, and resistivity. So I can select those four. I can hit OK, and it will build the table for me here. And it actually had a few extra statistics that were selected from some previous work I was doing in here, but we can ignore those for now. So we've got those available. And so what I want to do is I now want to expand this out to some more statistics. So let's say I want to look at some percentiles for my density, neutron, and gamma ray curves. So I'm going to show you how we can go about doing this. So first of all, let's understand the syntax of when we want to get some of these statistics. So I'm going to go to Equation Playground to demonstrate this, and we'll click on the CPI Params tab, and I'm just going to clear out the curves that we have in here. And so I'm going to put a demonstration in here. So let's say we want to look at the gamma ray P10. So we have a percentile function, and we give it the value and then the curve name that we want to take. And in most cases, you're going to choose gamma ray final, neutron, MV final, rho B final, and so on. And you'll notice it gives me an error here. It says function percentile is only allowed in either by formation and by stats window. So what I want to demonstrate is what each of those are. So by formation, when we wrap the percentile function in that, what it does is it gives us the P10 on a zone by zone basis. So you'll see that it changes here on every zone. Um, and conversely, if I come in here and I put, um, slightly different formulation, so I'm just going to give that a different name, and I'll call this by stats window. What we will see is that now it has the same value for every zone. So the difference here is when we do it by formation, it calculates the statistics within each formation. When I do it by stats window, it gives me the statistics over the statistics window. So if you're going to use these curves in a subsequent workflow, it's important to think about which one that you would like. So now, how can we add these at scale? So I'm just going to clear these out. And the way we can go about adding these in scale is we can come in here to our CPI config, and I'm just going to paste some in here. So what do we have? We have our equations section, and I'm adding gamma ray P5, 50, and 95, MV, P5, 50, and 95, and gamma ray P5, P50, and P95. And here you can see is where we are putting them by stats window. So in this case, I'm going to get one value, and that'll be the same value across all of my zones. And then if I want to make these eligible to be displayed in my table view, I need to put them in here, and you can see I've already added the rho B and MV ones. And all you have to do here is, type them in with a comma separated list here. So there we go. We've added the 3 gamma ray ones. We hit submit. Now we can come back to our CPI. We can come back to the table view. And what we need to do now is we need to select this icon here. And now you'll see that the Infi, P50, P95, and P5. Those are here. Those are kind of holdovers from a previous work I did before making this video. And we'll also add the gamma ray P5, P50, and P95 in there. We'll hit OK. And now what it'll do is it'll start up a job. That job will run, and then it will display these extra values for us here. And the benefit of displaying them here versus calculating, let's say, a points file using a flow and the CPI log calc tool is that now these will be in a sortable table, and the APIs will be linked to a well. So this way, if I want to view things on a map, I can click on that well in the map, and that becomes my active well. So it gives me a way to, you know, if I was, let's say, looking at something like just my setup plot, and I wanted to, you know, check out, you know, this well that had a very low average row B, I could click on that, and it will take me directly to that well, and I can evaluate here and maybe see that we have some washout. All right, so you can see this is pretty quick. We ran this on about 60 wells here, and we can see, you know, what it gives us here for our gamma ray, Infi, and row B curves. And these are sortable, so you can come through and you can sort these well by well. All right, and that is pretty straightforward. And if you're wondering here, why do the gamma ray P5 and P95 have the same values for every well? That's because I did a normalization where I aligned the P5 and P95 on both of those wells, and that's why they have the same value throughout. All right, so just a quick review of that. What we did is we came here to our table view. We selected single zone, multiple properties and parameters. We selected the curves that we had made in our overrides. And we selected this just for one zone, but remember all the zones when we use by stats window have the same value. And that is what allowed us to build this sortable table. And to get these equations into the CPI config, we just add them to our equation section. And of course you can add as many of these as you want. So you know, you could add P10s, P90s. We already have averages built into the system by default. And you can add these to the in the export section, the formation summary curve. This is what controls what's available in that default view in the table. And it also controls what's available on the map. So not only will we see these on the map, we will see these now as an option for something that we can map up in the CPI. So it gives us a way to come in and say, all right, you know, let's sort here. Let's see where that is on the map. Okay, maybe that looks like an outlier. Let's come in here, you know, check our washout, etc. So that's how we can introduce some statistics and use those as part of our QC. Okay, hope that was useful. If you have any questions, you can always reach us at support@danomics.com. Thanks.